Good evening, everybody. Before we begin our program, I would like to thank the clergy and staff at St. Ansgar's Church for hosting us this evening. We're so honored to be here with you. And also I want to thank the leadership and staff at the Holocaust Education Week for organizing this evening and for so many other programs that they are hosting and organizing in the next week during Holocaust Education Week. The choir tonight is comprised of two streams, one from March of the Living and the other from Congregation Havdalah. The March of the Living is a program that brings students from all over the world to Poland and Israel to mark two of the most significant dates in modern Jewish history. In Poland, the students' visits include sites of once thriving places of Jewish life and culture. Then on Holocaust Remembrance Day, the students march from Auschwitz to Birkenau in memory of all victims of Nazi genocide and against prejudice, intolerance, and hate. From Poland, the students travel to Israel, the birthplace and homeland of the Jewish people, where they commemorate Israel's fallen soldiers on Memorial Day and celebrate Israel's independence on Israel's Independence Day. Congregation Havdalah is a liberal synagogue in Toronto, just located just a few minutes away from here, and is the first synagogue in Canada founded after the war by Holocaust survivors. The choir is conducted by Cantor Aviva Reisky and accompanied by Tom Bellman and Eldon Cohen. Aviva and Tom both work with me at Congregation Havdalah, where I serve as a religious leader, and Aviva, Tom, and Eldon have all attended March of the Living as musical staff. So we're going to begin with Havdalah, since Shabbat is just ending. And as the choir sets up for Havdalah, just a little bit of background on what Havdalah is. Havdalah is a ceremony marking the end of the Sabbath and the beginning of the new week. For 6 days, we work, we create, we invent. On the seventh day, in honor of God's creating the world and resting on the seventh day, we also rest on the seventh day and honor the capital C of creation, because no matter how creative we can be, even with Google and the internet and all that kind of stuff, nothing matches the glories of the created world that God has given us. So there are three rituals involved in the Havdalah ceremony. The first is we light a candle. Humanity's creativity is marked in many ways, the invention of the wheel, the invention of fire, and so the rabbis felt that fire was the most symbolic way of marking human beings' creativity, and so we start the Sabbath by lighting fire. We don't light fire for 24 hours, and we conclude the Sabbath once again by lighting fire to mark the fact that we're returning to the world of creative work. The second aspect of Havdalah is the spices. When Shabbat is over, we're sad to say goodbye to the Sabbath, so we smell some spices to cheer ourselves up. And the third aspect of Havdalah is a cup of wine. In this case, it's grape juice. And we drink wine because why? Because Jews like to drink. Not really. We drink wine because we're starting off a new week. We want to start off the week on the note of optimism and joy. So we're going to do now the blessings over the candle, the wine, and the spices as we say and sing Havdalah and say goodbye to the Sabbath. And you're welcome to join in for any part of the service that you'd like.